Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. Blessings to all those that are in worship of the Supreme Creator. We're here at 2 Kings chapter 10. Ahab's family is killed. The reason that Ahab's family was killed, remember, is because he married a Jezebel. He went with Canaanite law. He worshipped the Baal and Asheroth and other gods. And this is what the God of Israel was telling the children of Israel. You know, you're not to worship other gods. You're not to go into the towns or cities of the Samaritans and intermingle. Now, we're not talking about color of skin, folks, all right? We're talking about a beast, something that was created on the sixth day of creation, that was created in an image of itself, which are Gentile on the sixth day of creation, and Gentile are all colors, and this is why Israel tells you all the time that not all kinfolk or not all of them that are the same color are brothers of Israelites. Gentiles are also black too. Okay, the difference about this battle has nothing to really do with color. It has to do with evil and good. This is what the Spirit was trying to say, that there's two different races on this planet of existence. So you've got to get it out of your head that you can do these things, because it tells us that 2/3 of God's chosen children are going to fry from lack of knowledge. Well, 2/3, by the way, happens to be 66.6. Just to throw that out there. Let's go ahead and begin this reading here this morning. Everybody have a wonderful day. Now there was in Samaria 70 sons of the house of Ahab. So Jehu wrote letters and sent them to Samaria, to the officials of Jezreel, to the elders and to the guardians of Ahab's children. He said, "You have your master's son with you, and you have chariots and horses, a fortified city and weapons. Now, as soon as this letter reaches you, choose the best and most worthy of your master's sons and set him on his father's throne. This fight for your master's house." But they were terrified and said, "If 2 kings could not resist him, how can we?" So the palace administrators, which would be an official or a magistrate, okay, and we all know that magistrates at this channel, if you've been here any length of time, are magi. Magi is a magus. Magus is a MAGA, make America great again. These people in office are demons, folks. They're the aliens. I've been telling you that for a long time. It's not a snake or anything that crawls on its belly. Satan or Lucifer or the devil or the beast or whatever you want to call him was the most beautiful of all angels in heaven. He was beautiful. That's what came to Eve. Okay, not that Eve being so naive and everything, that if an animal or even a serpent did come and talk to her, I don't think that she would be in fear of it, because she has no knowledge. When the Spirit, or whatever God it was that gave the commandment not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or you shall surely die that day, gave that commandment, and then they broke the commandment, all hell came upon Israel for that sin. A lot of people will tell you that sin doesn't exist. Oh, but I would differ absolutely that sin does exist. So the palace administrator, the city governor, the elders, and the guardians sent this message to Jehu. "We are your servants, and we will do anything you say. We will not appoint anyone as king. You do whatever you think is best." Then Jehu wrote them a second letter, saying, "If you are on my side and will obey me, take the heads of your master's sons and come to me in Jezreel by this time tomorrow." Now the royal princes, 70 of them, were with the leading men of the city, who were rearing them. When the letter arrived, these men took the princes and slaughtered all 70 of them. They put their heads in baskets and sent them to Jehu and Jezreel. When the messengers arrived, he told Jehu, "They have brought the heads of the princes." Why? Because princes will be cast down. I keep trying to tell you, anything in a head that places itself in a position of authority to rule over you, rather than to guide you. There's a difference between being guided and being ruled over. Okay? This is what it's talking about in 16:19 of Jeremiah. Where it says, "O Lord, you're my strength, refuge, and fortress in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come to you from all ends of the earth, claiming that we have inherited nothing but lies." The lies that we inherit, folks, is everything that's coming off that television set. Everything that they're shoving down your face. This entire reality and how you understand it is not real. You got to understand that we are living an illusion. And the Bible plainly tells us that we're living an illusion. Not me. I'm not telling you. I'm just telling you what the Bible says because I've read it enough times. Okay. Then Jehu ordered, "Put them in 2 piles at the entrance of the city gates until morning." The next morning Jehu went out. He stood before all the people and said, "You are innocent. It was I who conspired against my master and killed him. But who killed all these? Know then that not a word of the Lord has spoken against the house of Ahab will fail. The Lord has done what he announced through his servant Elijah." So Jehu killed everyone in Jezreel who remained of the house of Ahab, as well as all his chief men. His close friends and his priest, leaving him no survivors. Jehu then set out and went towards Samaria. At Beth Eked of the shepherds, he met some relatives of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and asked, "Who are you?" They said, "We are relatives of Ahaziah, and we have come down to greet the families of the king and of the queen mother." "Take them alive," he ordered. So they took them alive and slaughtered them by the well of Beth Eked. 42 of them, 4 plus 2 is 6, he left no survivors. 42 is a pretty prevalent number in the Bible as well, too, guys. After he left there, he came upon Jehonadab, son of Rechab, who was on his way to meet him. Jehu greeted him and said, "Are you in accord with me as I am with you?" "I am," Jehonadab answered. "If so," said Jehu, "give me your hand." So he did, and Jehu helped him up into the chariot. Jehu said, "Come with me and see my zeal for the Lord." Then he had him ride along in his chariots. When Jehu came to Samaria, he killed all who were left there of Ahab's family. He destroyed them according to the words of the Lord spoken to Elijah. Servants of Baal killed. Then Jehu brought all the people together and said to them, "Ahab served Baal a little. Jehu will serve him much. Now summon all of the prophets of Baal, all of his servants, and all of his priests, so that no one is missing, because I am going to hold a great sacrifice for Baal. Anyone who fails to come will no longer live." But Jehu was acting deceptively in order to destroy the servants of Baal. Jehu said, "Call an assembly in honor of Baal." So they proclaimed it. Then he sent word throughout Israel, and all of the servants of Baal came. Not one stayed away. They crowded into the temple of Baal until it was full from one end to the other. And Jehu said to the keepers of the wardrobe, "Bring robes for all of the servants of Baal." So he brought out robes for them. Then Jehu and Jehonadab, son of Rechab, went into the temple of Baal. Jehu said to the servants of Baal, "Look around and see that no one who serves the Lord is here with you. only servants of Bel. So they went in to make sacrifices and burnt offerings. Now Jehu had posted 80 men outside with this warning. If one of you lets any of the men I am placing in your hands escape, it will be your life for his life. As soon as Jehu had finished making the burnt offerings, he ordered the guards and officers, "Go in and kill them. Let no one escape." So they cut them down with swords. The guard and the officers threw the bodies out and then entered the inner shrine of the temple of Bel. They brought the sacrifice stone out of the temple of Bel and burned it. They demolished the sacred stone of Bel and tore down the temple of Bel, and the people have used it for a latrine to this day. So Jehu destroyed Baal worship in Israel. However, he did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. The worship of the golden calf at Bethel and Dan. The Lord said to Jehu, "Because you have done well in accomplishing what is right in my eyes, and have done to the house of Ahab all I had in mind to do, your descendants will sit on the throne of Israel to the 4th generation." Yet Jehu was not careful to keep the law of the Lord, the God of Israel, with all his heart. He did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, which he had caused Israel to commit. In those days, the Lord began to reduce the size of Israel. Hazael overpowered the Israelites throughout their territory, east of the Jordan, in all the lands of Gilead, the region of Gad, Reuben, and Manasseh, from Aroer by the Arnon Gorge through Gilead to Bashan. As for the other events of Jehu's reign, all he did and all his achievements, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Jehu rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria, and Jehoahaz, his son, succeeded him as king. The time that Jehu reigned over Israel and Samaria was 28 years. All right, everybody, much love to you. Peace be with you. Walk safely. We're in a world of demons, ran by demons. These are not human beings that are in power, okay? A human being wouldn't poison us, wouldn't spray our skies with poison, wouldn't put poison in the food, wouldn't poison our water, wouldn't poison our air. All right? It's just the way it is. So I hope everybody wakes up and finds the truth. This is White Raptor News Ministries.